Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Let's see here. There we go. And activate. She probably can just do my face for a second. Here we go. Yo. I do need to turn on my lights behind me. How's everyone doing today? There we go. Lights on. Activate. Yo, Tice. What up, my dude? Gotta love that emote. It's beautiful. My main man, Tice. All right, let's see here. I'm back. Oops, that's the wrong overlay. There we go. I have themed overlays now, depending on what I'm doing. It's pretty rad. Although some of this is not correct. Like your text is... We'll have to juggle streams a bit since Chips is speedrunning in Cave Runner. That's totally fair. I would do the same if I were you. Sorry, let me scooch this down a smidge so we can actually see you. Clarence, yo, what's up? Is that better? I think that's better. Did I move all of it? Sorry, we're fixing this on the fly. Anyway, I'm back. It's been a minute. As I try to fix this slightly. What is new with me? I went to my dad's again. And I was kind of being a little secretive about where I was going because I was going for a surprise birthday party thing. And my friend watches my streams, so had to be a little discreet about that, about me leaving. But yeah, I'm back again, and we are probably gonna work a little more on Blighted Blackridge. I wanted to get it a little more squared away, do a little bit more art with it. Yeah, I got to actually play it a bit. Hold on, I gotta show y'all. I printed it out, so I got to play it with my friends. Let's see, full camera. Look at that. Card box and everything. You got the cards inside. It's beautiful. Damn, yeah, I know, right? And then, you know, it also has a it's a cool dice box. It also has like a little drawer for dice. Dice box, card box. Also, my cat's on my desk. Hello. If you stood up anymore, yeah, we see your ears. We see your ears. Hi. Yeah, this is my cat. Mwah. Hi. Okay, goodbye. Oh, do you want to look at the cards? Okay. Gato. That's Luna. But yeah, yeah, I printed out the cards. Let's see. We'll show a few. Also, I don't know if y'all saw, but I am redoing the how the cards look. There's some dynamite. Is that backwards? I think it's backwards, but yeah, so I printed them out, put them in card sleeves so that they are easy to shuffle and whatnot. And yeah. That's very different. Yeah, so let's actually, I can actually show what it looks like now. Let's rearrange. dexterous, and then we will... Oh, there's a new update. I'm gonna have to look at that later. Give me half a second and I'll show you my screen. Oh, I think I broke it though. Hold up, wait a minute. Okay, let's just jump to my full display. I keep doing that. We want this one. We're not working on AAE today. We're working on the old whatchamajig. We just want to turn these on and this on. Oh, that's just mislabeled. This should be like flavor text. Okay, anyway. Let's see actually what that's called, but then we can go to... There we go. That's how they look. Big card. Boop. Yeah, so I wanted to make it look a little bit cooler. This is the current look. I might change the font here. Currently I'm using Inscriptions font for the base font. Obviously not for the top one here, but I think they look a little bit nicer. I had to work on clarity a little bit more, especially on cards like this one. When this is printed, it looks really bad. But maybe that's just a printer issue and not a whatever issue, but great styling. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of wanted to lean harder into that, like, what's it called? The wanted poster aesthetic. I can tell because I play the game way too much. Yeah. So I thought that was fun. But yeah, these get all weird. I need to fix some stuff, but these should not have these icons or this thing on them, but that'll be fixed later. We got some beans. But yeah, I think it looks a lot better. Still work to be done on it. But for now it is good. Yeah. This is the game that got me into watching you. Well, yeah, cool. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that brought a good number of people. But yeah, I'm glad you found me. I want to do more with the event deck as well. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do like a whole ton of work on this game because I don't think it needs it, arguably. There's just a little bit of tweaking that it needs. One is visuals, obviously. Two is yeah, Tice is what got me to get you to watch me to watch this. There we go. It's all Tice's fault, aka dual wielded, if you don't know who he is. Full circle. We are a circle. What am I even saying? Yeah, tools really need work. There's a lot of, oops, I did not mean to open that. There's a lot of weird interactions that just don't quite work with a lot of different tools. So that needs to be fixed. What else? Honestly, just more cards. I do want a few more just to kind of help fill the game out a little bit more. And then we also have been working on the what's it called? Corruption cards. I got cat hair in my mouth. Okay, there we go. Yeah, corruption, I want to be a corruption always was designed to have more functionality than it did. The biggest thing is So originally, corruption was supposed to be like a sort of like a mental damage sort of mechanic, rather than just another type of damage. Because right now it's just like corruption is what's the word? Corruption is reversible damage, where damage just is permanent. But I always had plans to do more with corruption, and that plan is to be able to play them as sort of event modifiers. We did this last stream, which was, a week ago now, but these event modifiers basically allow players to continue playing even after they die. Which one will end the game quicker, which I think is a good thing. Like once, one person out, they're not going to just sit there forever, right? They can contribute, and even if they're not contributing, the game ends much quicker because they are changing the outcome of the game. So yeah, that is the main idea of corruption. Got to get that in there. It's gonna have to be a whole separate deck, but I think it's pretty cool. So that was my, initial intent. I didn't exactly know what I was doing with it, but we did a little bit of planning last time, and so I think we can, this will work out. I think it's cool. Yeah. I'm thinking about it now. I guess one of the biggest problems with corruption is that, well, I guess it can still, I was originally thinking that the corruption card could be like the what we're seeing here, right, is the back of the card, and you flip it over, and then there's the information on it of what it actually is. But that does create some interesting things in real life play. Let's open Tabletop Simulator so I can like illustrate what I'm talking about as we do it. Tabletop Simulator. But yeah, today we're probably gonna work on just some more art stuff and getting this stuff better implemented. But yeah, we'll see. I have been tempted to do coming up doing more like just Twitch streams, just to see how that goes. This is just kind of a random note. While I was thinking about it, but yeah, so the original idea was you get these cards and you place them in your slots, right? But the question is, in a real life scenario, people are going to know that these are corruption. Because in a real life game, you're holding your card. I mean, there could be a inventory slots like that, but it's rather than inventory, it's more like you're holding your cards, like this, right? And then and then the player will also know what cards those are, right? They'll know what effect it is. I think it is kind of interesting to have those cards laid out, and then when you flip them over, as I throw a card, and you flip them over, you get to reveal what it actually is. But that only really works in the digital format. Because you could have these laid down on your mat, right? And then you can just peek up at them. But I don't know, maybe that works. But it's also interesting, and it may be arguably more interesting, you don't know when a player is dead. And then they'll just suddenly play one of these cards. Thunder, yo, is there an option on your end to show the type of card to the others then? I know on Tabletop Simulator there is a way to, if you do hands, there is a way to show the card back through Fog of War. Yeah, I've returned. Good day. Welcome back. It's good to have you here. Like, I don't know if it's really that big of an issue, right? The question is, I guess the question is it worth showing corruption? Like people having it in their hand and having it as a card back? Or do you have the standard card back, and then when you are corrupted, I guess the question is it more interesting to not know what cards you have, or for the other players to not know that you are corrupted? Does it affect the gameplay if you can't? So there's basically two ways to do this, right? Option A is that sorry, this music's a little loud on my end. Can't hear myself think. Okay, option A, you have this be the card back, right? The corruption is on the back. And then when you flip it over, it is revealed to you what the card does. Alternatively, it is not apparent to you. Wait. No, what's the other option? Yeah, option A, this is sorry. Let me start over one more time. Okay, option A. It is not apparent to you when you get your card and it's placed down. You're like, okay, this is a corruption. Everyone else also knows it's a corruption, right? So everyone knows that you have it. And then when you flip it, you see what it is. So after you die, you get to see what the card is. That's option one. Option two is nobody gets to know what it is. Until you die. No, they don't even know that you have corruption, although you would know what it is, right? On your end, you would know. Sorry, I'm just using the wrong card. Only you would know what card it is when it's in your hand, but no one else would know that you're corrupted until you die. Which I think is more interesting, because I think deceiving other players is maybe cooler than you yourself not knowing what kind of corruption you have in your hand. It's either you deceive yourself, or you get deceived yourself, or other people get deceived. And I think other people getting deceived is maybe more interesting. Which is kind of hard to say, but I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well either. But because either, yeah, everyone can see what you have, or only you can see what you have. Because when I played the game, so in option A, you know already before you're knocked out what cards you're getting, correct. But option B, only you know when you die. Correct. Correct. Which is cool to... it's kind of cool to not know what you have. Yeah, so but the downside of option A and option B, option A, other players will know what type of cards you have. Like they will know, wait, sorry. So option A, you already know what cards you have beforehand, before you're knocked out. Right, yeah, so option A, other players will not know that you have corruption. Whereas option B, other players will know you have corruption. Correct. Yeah. Because the interesting part about that is, let's put myself on the other side of the table here, right? Because really the arguably the more accurate way to display this is when you're playing in person, it's much easier to just have your cards in your hand rather than laid out on the table and then just, you know, peeking under each one on inventory slots. Maybe that's how it can be. I don't know. I didn't have inventory slots on my thing, but I guess you could just, you know, have your cards down and then you just, you know, pick up one when you're trying to remember what it does. But, if the card back is the corruption symbol, right? Then other players will know that you have a corruption. But if you're holding your hand, obviously you will know what corruption you have. Because it will be on the card back will be on the opposite side, right? I'm trying to think this through. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it. I'm probably overthinking this. And arguably, it's not really that big of a deal. The abilities will have to be... It works well with option B. Yeah. I gotta think that through. And the corruption symbol on the back. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the solution to that is just make sure to have this board as a printable thing, right? Because right now I don't, and playing as the hand, I guess it doesn't really matter if you're holding in hand. It just, players will be able to tell how many corruption you have. I'm trying to decide how I feel about that. Because I kind of, like, honestly, I think the more interesting thing to me is, like, when you die, you play, well, I guess it's only interesting for one turn, right? Because, like, you get corruption, you die. Either players know, if it's not on the back, it just has normal thing, and you play a card, you bet it, and then when you flip it, it's a corruption card, which I think is interesting. Or alternatively, they know you're dead and you play a corruption card and then they know what's coming. Maybe that is better and maybe more fair. It's like, okay, I know there's a corruption coming and then I know it's going to be bad. So I have to account for this screwing me over. Which how close you are getting to against the rest of them. Yeah. But this game's like all about bluffing. That's my only worry. And I kind of like the idea that you can just bluff your way through it. I get what you're saying too. It's kind of like both I think are good. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more I think I might want it to just be a standard back. You don't bluff corruption, do you? When you're dead, I think you would. You could play a corruption card and no one would know that it's a corruption card. No one would know that you've died. No one would know that you've gone evil, which I think is maybe a cooler reveal. You're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I bet this. Oh yeah, and then I bet this. And they're like, okay, he's just betting like more weapons. And then all of a sudden you flip these over and they're like, ah, crap. This guy's turned into a ghost. It gives that more of like, it gives more of that like, oh crap moment for the other players, which I think is more fun than you being like, because like the reveal is really cool for yourself, right? I mean, that's really the big thing. It's either the surprise all the other players with a corruption card, which I think is cool, or the surprise yourself with, you know, flipping all your cards and realizing you have all these cool abilities you can use. But I think the one that's going to be more fun gameplay wise is being able to bluff corruption and you play it and then all the other players are like, ah, shit. We've made a monster. And then you can kind of get your revenge secretly, right? Because like someone killed you and then, yeah. So I guess it has to be on the front or on the, yeah, there is no, the card backs are all going to be the same. Yeah, I think, yeah, now that I've talked it through, I think that's probably the best way. I will probably make this card back cooler because I do like the idea of this being a card back just from an aesthetic standpoint because it's cooler. But, I mean, this is okay, but yeah. Anyway, okay, that informs that decision. Let's make a new deck. Okay, I'm glad we all agree. At least I think we agree. Corruption. I guess we can call it the corruption deck. I guess for now we can just duplicate. We'll do some other static stuff. Like maybe we'll make different corruption symbols. Maybe. I'm not entirely certain yet, but let's start by just taking connect with a copy of this layout. That's what we want. And then we gotta take this CSV, although I have to not show that to you because I don't need to leak my entire game. The chances I'll leak it anyway are high, but you know. Anyway, how was y'all's past week? I haven't talked to you, any of you, in a week. So what have you been up to? Anything fun? Bradley, my boy. Man, not knowing when someone dies is gonna be freaky when it happens. Yeah, that's my thought. Okay. That worked. Let's switch back. Wait, hold on. Okay, we're good. Full screen. I keep doing that. There we go. I guess this maybe should just be like down here, and then so I don't click on it so often. There we go. There we go. Different corruptions. Although I'll probably... What did I just delete? I deleted some pride. Alright, let's edit the card for now. For how good this game looks. Yeah, thanks. Honestly, well, part of it was because it's got new cards. Did I show you them, Bradley? Did I show you the new cards? I mean, this is the new format, the new layout. I think I did, right? Versus the old one. Do you recognize the font in the middle? Okay, I did. Yeah. You recognize this font? You should. Not the top font, but the body font. I was just choked on my water, not gonna lie. Anyway, yeah, let's get these corruption cards a little bit nicer for now. I think I want to do more with it, but this is the copy. Black Ridge. Yep. The Black Ridge corruption cards. Oh, I turned off that on the other one, huh? Maybe? Oh, right. It moves them around when you... There we go. We need our grunge. Wait, what is it? It's inscriptions font. Sorry, I keep like jumping back between different things here. There we go. Okay, we don't need this. We don't need this, and we need I guess this for now. Is that a freaking beat? It is. I'm back. Sup, runner? How you doing? Beans. Is this what I'm gonna think of every time? Now that I showed you that meme video, whatever. So I haven't seen you in ages. I haven't been here in a week. It's true. I have been. I disappeared, and I kind of didn't tell anyone that I was disappearing because I was going A, to visit my dad, but also B, to this did not work. To a surprise birthday party, and my friend watches my streams, so every now and then, so I couldn't say anything. Why is this on top? I sent it to back. Like, this should test. This card art should not be on the front. That's fine. It's my energy to the T. Perfect. Edmund, how are you? Clarence back. Hello, Clarence. Look at this. Full house today. No need to justify you, silly sausage. Good to see you. For sure. No, yeah, it was just funny. it was kind of funny because like he had no idea it was coming, so I'm glad I was extra cautious. It was a good surprise. I don't understand why this is in the front though. It should be on the back of the card. No. Is it because it's not inverted? Yes. One would think the card back would be on the back, but some would be mistaken. Oh, I forgot about YouTube. Hello, Bradley. Yeah, there you go. Yes, we are. I am thinking of maybe doing some Twitch only streams coming up just to try it out, but I am not 100% sure of that yet. Dude, I don't know why this isn't. I don't think there's like a hierarchy of images here. And it was fine before. It's clearly me doing something wrong, but this is the card name. It should say test right now. Let's go back to here and oh wait, I know what I did. I know what I did. I'm dumb. Maybe we keep that for now. I changed the wrong layer. Okay, where are we? I'm good tonight, having dinner, chilling, nice. Might be one of my favorite card designs. The fire or just the... Also maybe we'll do that. Or just the cards in general. I really do like the fire though. I'm really happy with that. Or the corruption rather. Good to hear, Bradley. Awesome. It's been a minute. Yes. Me, or are you talking to all the peeps, Bradley? I'm doing good. We need to get rid of test. I'm assuming you're talking to each other. Because you were talking to each other. Okay. There we go. Doing good right now, and in general have been all right. Just chilling. Nice. All right, there we go. So the part of the thing is, like, I feel like each of these is going to need more going on with it. I love the corruption symbol, but I'm also wondering if we need more going on here. Like, should each type of corruption have its own symbol? And is that something I should even draw before I see if they work, you know? Beautiful, yeah. You love to hear it. You do love to hear it. Love to hear people being good. But yeah. I'm glad y'all are doing well. It's good to have y'all here. Any y'all been working on any projects or anything? I know some of y'all do game design stuff. And if so, how are they going? That'd be cool, but a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, it would take a lot of time, probably, but that might be fine, I think. Yo, Anonymous, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome here to the here. Welcome to the here. But yeah, this will need something, I think. It doesn't look quite right to me. Number much, bro. How have you been? Good. I just got back from hanging out with my dad and a surprise friend birthday party, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I actually got to play a lot of this game in person. Got my deck box here. Look at that. It's beautiful. You know, got the I showed this a minute earlier, but half of you weren't here at that point, so got all the cards in there. It's pretty cool. Huzzah. You can see a reflection. I'm doxing all my information. Just kidding. Unless you hold on, full display. Unless you change the heart to the center and match the image on the front of the card. Yeah. Never mind, ignore that. There is... This should be, like, more in the middle. I should, like... The arrangement of the text here will be different. I think I want different symbols. Oh, yeah, it looks so cool. Thank you. Yeah. And actually, I can show you this too, because I didn't. I can yeah, I put all these in card sleeves and stuff, so you can actually just, you know, of course that's just a lot of slop, but turned out pretty cool. I definitely want to reprint them. I've got to do a few little corrections to make it more readable, but pretty happy with how it turned out. Like, it's cool because this deck box has a little drawer where I can keep my dice in there. Look at that. Beautiful. I mean, it's a pretty standard deck box, but, you know, here we are. But yeah, I think this looks cool. I just think that let's do a tiny bit of reworking. I think maybe each symbol would be different, and I think that would be nice just for the sake of... Actually, you know what I could do? I haven't tried this before. And I don't know if it works, so bear with me. I think you can edit... Oh, no, that edits a specific... We don't want that. We do not want that. It might be standard, but it's yours, so it ain't. Very true. Very, very true. Feels fun to have a unique thing that no one else has. Okay, I think if we push the name down a bit, and then also push the effect to be... The effect's not that big for any of these, so maybe put that like here. And then we don't need a bonus effect. Maybe we'll have flavor text. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. And I don't know if we need to have a card subtype. Like, I think it's pretty obvious that this is corruption. So I think I might just delete that. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like. It's still called Blight of Blackwater on the thing. That looks a little better. It's gonna have to be different. I think the font might be different, like more sort of like corruption looking kind of font, like more scrawled handwriting kind of deal to kind of fit the vibe a little bit better, because this I think is too whatever. But I think it might be something that's better to try play testing before I go too ham on it. But yeah. I'm trying to think what else I can do here. Let's consult the our design. The things to fix, or is it? Yes. Okay. So we have a corruption mechanic. Oh, I will say I did test Got Dash Buddy late in the UK. When are you on next? I am on at Monday, and it will be let's see, 9:30 a.m. EST, so it should be a lot earlier for you. Approximately, I don't know, I can't even think of what time it would be. It's on the thing. I'll be back to my regularly scheduled stream, 1:30 p.m. I guess so. Bradley's on it. I trust Bradley most of the time. I'm just kidding. But yeah, the schedule's on Discord. I think you're on there. It's on Discord, and if you look at it, it will be in your time because of timestamps, and timestamps are cool. Heck yeah. But yeah, I'll see you around, dude. I appreciate you stopping by. You could little characters acting out the card title in front of the symbol. I see what you're saying. Yeah, potentially. I'll have to think that through. Yeah, I guess there could be like a second layer. That is definitely true. I could have like a... Here, let's open Photoshop and talk about that for a second. That's a good point. It could be a thing in front of a symbol. I think that might end up looking a little too cluttered, but I do think that's a good idea. To it's at least worth trying. I'll tell you what. Not Armies Against Entropy. I need to resort this out because this game is just under Blackthorn Prod Game 2 and not under its own category. I think I had it under here. Like, yeah, you could do... Let's grab the old drawing pad here. And we could have something like you're saying where, you know, you have... This might be too light. I think I was using this. I don't think I would want like the same characters I have for like my other stuff. Like I like it. I'm just gonna draw them for now, but yeah, you could have just like little guys. Some little guys over it. I don't know. This guy's shooting this guy. Pew pew. You could have something like that. Love the proportions on these little guys. It's dreadful. Yeah, you could have... It's very, very bad proportions. I'm overly sketching this too easily. Honestly, what I should do, rather than that, is I should just copy the... This will give me a better idea. Let's go to events. Let's go to... Because this would be the vibe that we're going for. We're looking at vibe right now. Doing a vibe check. It looks something like this, right? Like that kind of feel to it. To keep with the art style, you'd have something like that. I feel like that is going to be too cluttered. I mean, maybe not. I'm thinking about it. I really do like the card on its own, and that's why it's like kind of hard to like want to part with the design. But I think it is important to make sure each card feels unique, so when it's in your hand you can tell what it is. My thought on this would be, rather than having the heart in everything, it would be a different symbol in here. Why did I do that? So like each one would have a different, you know, let's duplicate Control L or something dumb. No. Shift L, Control Shift L, Control Shift J. Shift Control J, Control J. Why is it Control J? The world will never know. Yeah, I think the idea could just be have different symbols in the center. Like, you know, greed could just be like, you know, dollar signs or something. Obviously, this is really scrawled out. I don't know why I did. I don't know why I did what I did. Don't ask me why I did it. Obviously, this looks bad, but it could be something like that, right? Each thing, but in its own form. And the heart would be one of them, probably. I'm trying to make it look like scrawled out, but I'm making it too rough looking. You know, it could be like a different symbol each one. Again, not sure if that's the right thing to do. But could be a thing to do. The heart definitely looks the coolest, but And this would, you know, not quite look like this. It would look better than this. This is just a rough concept. That's all theoretical, though. For now, I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to... leave this as is. Technically, this could still be in the player deck, but it's okay. We can delete corruption from here. I will say we did some playtesting, and the dice mechanic, rolling for, so rather than having a draw pile, this is gone, right? And then rather than having a draw pile, you roll for what card type you're getting. It actually feels good. I thought it was gonna feel like too much rolling, and maybe in Tabletop Simulator it won't feel as nice, but rolling real dice in real life always feels nice. So yeah, being able to roll dice, you pick, you know, weapons is 1 and 2, tools is 2 and 3, rations is 5 and... Sorry. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. I think it was the other way around when I played, but... So you'd roll, you'd grab a card, and then you would take that card. So that actually felt good, and it works well, so we're gonna go through with that. So that is rad. Is that... I want to look at something here. The text going... Oops. Yeah, my text box does not look right here, does it? Gotta do some fixing. I'm fixing to fix this. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that works out. We have, I guess in that case, we can write, we have fixed the deck pollution issue. It's beautiful. We do want more cards. We were constantly reshuffling when we played. I do want to probably double the number of cards as far as types. Not types, but like, I do want more cards just in general. I could just double the quantity, but I think I want to add more cards. Cards are good. I agree. We don't want to get too lost in the sauce there, but you know, here we are. Why am I yawning? Let's see. So yeah, we want to add more cards, and we also want to fix some of the existing ones. And then yeah, just adding flavor text to stuff. There's a lot of little things. I'm trying to decide what I want to do next. I'm kind of thinking, now that we have the corruption cards here, it doesn't really make sense to... I don't think it makes sense to do much of anything with these right now. I think we just leave them as is and then just play test them before I make a bunch of art for it. Because if it sucks, then it's just like, well, what am I even doing? You know? Sorry, I keep yawning. I think I need more water. Okay. So, I did want to do one little thing with the card layout. Water good. Water is good. You know what I keep remembering, Bradley? I keep remembering, imagine an egg. And that just keeps popping into my mind. I don't know if you said it like before I left or something, but here we are. Maximus! I expressed my hopes for someone having tested and got auto-modded a Radish King. Well, first of all, it's the Turnip King, all right? I do keep making that mistake, and that's probably why you made it, but imagine an egg. I do not recall the Turnip King. I don't think it works on YouTube. That's the biggest thing. Is that? Oh, I see what's happening. Hold on. Do most people have their chat come from the top down, or is it from the bottom up? Yeah, I think it only works on Twitch, unfortunately. Also, what's up, Maximus? Good to have you here. I was gonna say welcome back, but it's also weird that it auto-modded you, but YouTube is overzealous in that. Okay, so for the... Can we, like, copy an effect style? Probably not. We want to do a glow at this color. Can we copy the... We can. Oh, it's beautiful. I'll tell you what. You can copy the effect or the color. Look at this. Boop. I don't know if you used to be able to do that. I think that might be a new feature. Bonus effect, and then this will be 3 and 10. Keep clicking on the wrong thing, and I'm dying. 3 and 10. I guess this probably also should be. This is just helping improve clarity for other whatevers. 3. Like you have it, I think. Sorry, I don't remember what I was talking about. But this should make, yeah, like that look a little better. Because the problem is certain things like Lantern was hard to read, where the corrupted ability was on top of this. So now there's a tiny bit of glow, and it won't be so unreadable. It may have to be beefed up a little bit more once it gets to printing, because the printing made it look like it looks much darker when you print it. But any hoodles. Let's see if I can I do the Radish King? The Turnip King? I did it too now. What is the difference between a radish and a turnip? There we go. I got you, Maximus. He's way too small, but he's just a small little guy, you know? He's microscopic. Can't even see him that well with the I'll have to like reframe him and redo that, because he is our boy. They're different vegetables of the same family, I think. Yeah, I think that's true. I was saying it more philosophically, you know? The other thing, actually refresh the CSV. I think these go away. Oh, I broke it. Red lines, column, image set. I don't know why I did that. Can these be gone? I don't know. Okay. Time for more spreadsheeting. Well, radishes follow closer. Desecrate. Okay, gotcha. I don't know what sort of ethics term, so yeah, it's very true. Very, very true. Okay. What are we doing? What do you guys want to do? What are we... Why is it not telling me? Oh, there it is. An hour and 11 minutes. So we got a whole hour and 50 minutes to do whatever we want to do. Here are our options. We can do art, which right now would mostly just be correcting. I feel like saving art for the end is probably the way to do it, but well, not necessarily. We could do the event deck art. We could do, you know, change how this looks. There are some of these monsters that I really feel like need work. They just look meh because I rushed it. So there's that. We could just try to work on gameplay, which is probably the most ideal thing. Cards like Lasso are broken. Lowering the damage of a creature is bad. It's just broken. Some other just like clarity things, you know. Double cross is good. I think I've thought a way to fix Liar's Bounty because it's broken. Yeah, some of the events are okay. I like Duel, I like Liar's Bounty, I like Double Cross, I like Bog Beast. I don't like Railroad Wraith. Tumbleweed Terror's like fine. Lemon Beast's maybe a little weird, but other people seem to like it, so I think I'm just gonna maybe leave that one. Hellhound's a little stiff looking, but I might be okay with it. I actually like Dust Devil, even though it's kind of maybe a little silly, but I think it's fun. Gorge Beast is cool. Iron Reaper is kind of like a little bit weird looking, and then like all the buildings are fine. Those are my feelings on all those. Dust Devil is good. Yeah, I'm a fan of Dust Devil. Originally, I wasn't gonna have the mouth, but I just kind of like, I was trying to move the eyes up, and I moved them up, and it like made the face with like the the gap between the thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? It needs a face now. Iron Reaper might just need a sizing change. Yeah, I think it's just some of the proportions are weird, and again, I just didn't know what, like, I wrote Iron Reaper, and then I was like, what the heck is an Iron Reaper? And then I just kind of didn't know what to do with it. But I was running out of time, and I just needed to do something. Railroad Wraith just feels a little bit like, you know? Sometimes you just write words down and then try to decide what it is later. You know? But yeah, I think probably the best thing to do is just, let's talk about... Hey! No! No! You want me to chase you around? What's the difference between a Railroad Wraith and a Interstate Wraith? Well, you see, Railroad Wraith haunts a railroad, where an interstate wraith haunts an interstate. Okay, yeah, so I think what we do is we just work on let's work on the gameplay, because event decks, I've been trying to decide whether I like some of the dual event stuff. It kind of feels like it discourages playing against each other. Which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. There's like risk reward there, but there's not risk reward against other players. Which actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of still do like it, because it kind of gives you a chance to, you know, get ahead if you're falling behind. So maybe we just leave that. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But that being said, I think I do want to work on the why is this not? I don't know why it's not getting rid of these. Oh, I think it's because I delete it and then refresh. Does it bring it back? It does. Weird. I don't know. I'll have to work on that. Light rail wraith. So that five times fast. I will not. I refuse. Okay, let's... Can I make this more aesthetically viewable? As it were? Unfortunately, chat's really big. You guys are so big, you know? Am I allowed to say that? I might... You know what? This calls for it. Ready for this, guys? Look at this. It's almost like I made everything modular. Oh, wait. Nope. Didn't want to make it bigger. It's almost like I made everything modular. Wow. Look at me go. Of course, the color thing is not fully... It's almost like I did it for a reason. Wow. Who would have thought? The dimensions are slightly wrong, but do this and then we'll alt and then we'll bring that in a bit. Look at you, standing ovation. There we go. It's almost like there was a point to doing that. So we can have like different setups. Wow. The Radish King is Turnip King. Damn it. The king. He needs to go back over here. His rightful spot on top of chat. He rules over you. Standing ovation. Okay. What are we doing? Let's tackle these one at a time, I guess. 6 shooter grants a 6 on an encounter. Wait, rolling a 6 on an encounter grants you a card. This is cool. However, not all... Actually, I can put this back here. Not all cards... Boo Radley. There he is. The Turnip King. Our boy. The king. I still don't know why that doesn't work on YouTube. Maybe that's something we can figure it out. Boo. So yeah, part of the problem with rolling a 6 grants you a card is that This only applies to the Hellhound and the Blood Moon Beast, because they are the only... Wait, no, I lied. Hellhound, Blood Moon Beast, Dust Devil, Gorge Beast. Yeah, that's it. It applies to half of the monster encounters. Ah! Well, you scared Maximus. Bradley, come... You not. We know, you know Maximus gets frightened easily. sorry. Yeah, so 6-shooter only is good a very, like, minimal portion of time. It's good on 1, 2, 3, 4 events of... How many other? 16. 4 of the 16 events, it does anything. Granted, I guess most weapons don't do anything on, like, you know, the carnival or whatever, like, on a lot of these things, but, I think maybe it should be, maybe it should give you something after rolling, or like it should give you something and or deals 2 damage and then you are allowed to roll. Yeah, Maximus and me have the same brain cell. You can make a 6-shooter roll dice whenever used. No, if there is no dice roll, or just say use it when there is a dice roll. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, basically, honestly, it basically just needs a roll table like the throwing knife, probably. But yeah, it should probably just say when used. I think it might be a little weak, but I think it's okay to have weak cards. When used, roll a dice. Roll a dice, period. On a 6. Rolling a 6 grants you a card. Or maybe just make it roll once when used, but it can trigger from the monster encounters dice too. So if you used on a monster encounter with a dice roll, it's better. That's kind of cool. Yeah. You could have it. What about this? I do like that idea. Maybe like any additional 6s rolled during this encounter grants you an additional card. Rolling a 6 is pretty hard to do. What about every dice rolled during turn it is used in every 6, it gives an X. Yeah, that we're sharing the same thoughts. We're sharing. We're occupying the same mind. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Annie. Any 6 rolled during the event. Also, you know, I'm doing this in a text document because I know me and I know that I can't type. Any 6 rolled during the event also grants you an item. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think that could be cool, the throwing knife thing. Have you played this game yet, Maximus? I know you've seen it, but I was just curious. I know you've played. You're one of the few who played my games, so. No, going purely on intuition, basically. No, that's totally cool. I was just curious. And you knew what the throwing knife was, so I guess you've seen it, right? But still. Any 6 rolled during an event also grants you an item. If I want to nerf this, if it ends up being too powerful, I just leave it any 6 rolled during the event grants you an item, and then that's it. But most things aren't going to have too many rolls, so I'm going to say additional. Any additional 6s rolled during the event also grants you an item. Probably should say by any player. Otherwise, again, it's a thing that doesn't need to be said, but it does for clarity. I don't know why I didn't do this. I am curious to see. Actually, I don't think I must have not. Yeah, I must have not imported the new CSV for this. Hang tight. You will see my face now. I find it funny. This is just purely an observation and not actually 100% true, but I feel like I mostly get one chatter at a time. I know you both, Maximus and Bradley, are here, but I feel like after a while it reduces to just one person, right? It's not really a problem. I just find it funny. I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad. Dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. You know what I mean? Why am I quoting that? But I was pooping. I'm sorry. No, I just find it interesting. It makes you wonder why. How dare you? Yeah. First of all, how dare you? Sorry, give me just a second. I'm sure. Cool. Back to full display. This is all poo for the first time in a while. Huge for me. I'm proud of you? Question mark. Honestly, I never had that space there before, but I think that actually looks better. Like this having a... I just hit shift enter. Or not shift enter. How does that work? Enter? No. Control enter. Does that look better, do we think? It isn't updated yet. Still hasn't updated yet. There we go. That's probably more clear on how that works, but all right, Bowie knife has the same problem. My sort of thought with the Bowie knife is that it gets a totally new ability, and maybe that's just put on like a new tool, because right now it says rolling a 1 or a 2 on an encounter, you may choose to ignore the results, which again, this is even less effective than the 6-shooter. Because this, like, you wouldn't ever use it on gain 1 ration. You're like, you know what? I don't want to gain that 1 ration. Okay, sure. So you never use it there. Gain 1 tool, take 1 corruption. That one you would use it on. So that's fair, I suppose. This one you lose 1 health. That one you might lose it on, or use it on. And same with this one, lose 1 health, gain 1 ration. So that's 3 events. So it's ever so slightly less useful than the 6-shooter. So the question remains, what do we do with this? What if you get the Bowie knife to ignore parts of any result? Maybe. That'd be slightly more useful. Because then you could ignore, like, I guess 2, 3, and 4 here. Like, gain 1 tool, gain a corruption. How about I don't gain that corruption, but I do gain that ration? Yeah, it makes it ever so slightly more useful, but it's still not useful on, like, any other encounter that doesn't have a role. And I'm not necessarily saying it should have a use on every single thing, but it shouldn't feel worthless, you know? I think probably the better way to put it would be like, do not gain, or you do not lose. I guess losing health, it shouldn't say here. It should say gain 1 damage. It should probably say you cannot gain or gain damage or corruption from event rewards. But that almost feels like it should be a item and not a a weapon. Like, it should be a tool, right? Because that would be more interesting on something like Carnival. It could be useful on too. But right now it feels like it's sort of just a weapon thing, right? So it might be worth changing it from a weapon to a like taking that power and putting it on a tool instead. So for now, let's do that, honestly. Let's just put it at the bottom here. Insert below. And then figure out something better for the Bowie knife. Maybe it should honestly be like something where it's like you take... I was gonna say you take less damage, but it doesn't really feel like a... feel thematic in that way. It feels like it should be a more... like a knife. I'm trying to think of like the thematics of that. You have to get up close and personal. It's a big old knife. Maybe even something like gain 1 extra from a reward, right? That might be more interesting. What the Bowie knife gets you 1 ration as long as the event gets killed. Pretty close to what I was thinking too. Honestly, that's probably a little bit more fair. Best viewers on stream, boo. Maximus, your favorite people. Ban. Delete. I have to delete that on my other thing too, don't I? Oops, I did not mean to promote them. Block. Here. We'll have Maximus. I love these guys. Well, actually... it's weird seeing y'all's icons so big. You know what I mean? I like the... yeah. I think I like that idea, Maximus. So it's similar, so killing the creature grants you 1 ration. I need to change the pic. Actually, don't show my picture that big, lol. I should, I need to make you, one of the little mini-me's. And then you can use that as your profile picture. I wonder why it does that. Is that... Real life Bradley. Bradley IRL. But yeah, I need to change, or I need to make you a little mini me so we can have the little Discord reactive things. It's like if I'm in a Discord chat, we could you know, we could talk to each other, you know. Have this little guy here who's up inside the chat right now. Look at that. He's just grabbing Bradley's name. The B in Bradley. Anyway. Oh wait, hold on. I closed it. Hello. I'm Beets. I'm grabbing words. I'm saying things. Hello, Beets. Did I show you the how if I mute myself? I don't know if you're hearing. No, you shouldn't be hearing double me. What am I talking about? If I mute myself, I cover my mouth. And then if I deafen, I plug my ears and close my eyes. Isn't that pretty cute? But yeah. But yeah, I want to make all my friends one of those, so if they ever decide to like join, or we ever play Armies Against Entropy and any of that kind, or this game or whatever, they all have one. I think it'd be fun. Okay, that's good enough for now. Lever actions, good. Ritual knife. So here's the thing. One of two options here. Ritual knife could either A, stay the same, or B, instead of removing a corruption, it could play a corruption. Which I think is kind of cool. Because now that corruption is specifically used for dead people, this would be an interesting way to play it, right? But I don't know if that's like if that should be ritual knife or if that should be a different card. I guess I kind of like ritual knife as is, but I think, I mean, playing a corruption card while alive sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide if that should be ritual knife. Because I do like how ritual knife as is, because it's like you kill the creature, you get a reward from it, which is cleansing the corruption from yourself, right? I think that is interesting. But I also think it could be interesting to, like you said, it sounds awesome, right? To be able to play a corruption while you're dead. Or while you're alive, rather. The opposite of dead, I think could be pretty cool. So that's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to decide on that. I mean, I don't think there's any hurt for there to be both, I guess, right? It could be some sort of other, like, you know, a dark bargain or something. Because that's a fundamentally different, like, thing, right? Because obviously one is, you know, you play the knife and then you reveal it and then you cleanse a corruption, right? You get to remove a corruption from you. The other option is you play 2 cards and then reveal both. One is the knife, one is like the weapon, one is the corruption. I guess that's kind of maybe interesting. Maybe more interesting than just... It just feels weird because, like, I don't want to mess with the game balance too much, but I do obviously have to add more in order to have more items, right? So it's hard to say. All right, I guess let's just brainstorm it for a second, right? So right now it is... I guess there's no reason there can't be both. But maybe... that... Sorry, I'm kind of like lost in thought here. Yeah, there's no reason there can't be both. So does it make sense to like move this to a new card? Granted, removing a corruption is maybe more powerful now. Because what would the other card be? It'd be probably something similar, like deal 1 damage. Because the power shouldn't really be in the weapon itself. It should be in the playing a curse. The question is the curse removed after you die? Or after you succeed? This is a ritual knife. Because there's I guess it could just be an additional feature of the ritual knife, right? Like you could just additionally play the card. Sorry, my phone's blowing up. Nope, doesn't matter. Killing a creature removes the corruption. So it'd be something like dealing damage, play... I keep saying curse, corruption. Play corruption. Corruption. I mean, I guess you know what's gonna happen, right? So I guess the interesting thing is playing a corruption doesn't necessarily affect the... Sometimes it can increase the cost of the event, decrease the cost of the event. Can increase or decrease the detriment. And you will know what these are now. It's not at random based on what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, something like sloth or neglect could be really, really punishing. Sloth might be already too overpowered. Taking 2 corruption or 1 damage just for not participating in a thing could be really rough, but we'll see. Those might be too powerful just looking at them now, but yeah, sorry guys if I'm a little scatterbrained. Still trying to get back into the swing of things. This is like the first work I've been doing on this stuff in a while. Obviously, it's been like a week, but yeah, here we are. Let me do this. Oops, there we go. No, stop it. There we go. Okay. Honestly, playing a curse might be better as a tool, potentially. I kind of like Ritual Knife as is. I think there might be something else to go in that area. We're playing a curse. Corruption. God dang it. Keep saying the wrong thing. Alright, we're just gonna leave that as is for now. I like it. And then we'll come up with something else. Back went to get my haircut. Nice. Hope it looks good. Congrats on the haircut. We're just talking about some ability design here. I guess I can zoom in on this again. Talking about new just tools and weapons and stuff. Well, not new, but we're going over and correcting stuff, and then I will want to do new ones. I think I want to leave Ritual Knife as is, though. I do like the idea of playing a corruption, but I think Ritual Knife is a good item as is. Kind of has that risk reward sort of deal. You want to make sure you can kill a creature to remove the corruption, or you know, you can sacrifice a lot to gain more corruption. Coach Gun is good. Deal 1 damage to a player if you kill a creature. Also, yeah, good. Throwing Knife is great. I love the interactions with that one. I like it. Cool. Nice. Beautiful. Roll a second dice. Honestly, I want to rename Liar's Dice, I think, to Cheater's Dice. Just because we already have a thing called Liar's Bounty, and I thought Cheater's Dice just makes more sense. Otherwise, I think it's good. Roll part of the problem is figuring out, I guess, just probably adding something like at any time, because a lot of time or like maybe the better thing to do, again, we're gonna use word here because I cannot spell for my life. During or after any roll. Play this card to roll a second dice and take either result. This item is then consumed. Perfect. So yeah, we're just doing some revisions to some of these that were not clear. Lasso is broken. So part of the problem is it has, oops, wrong thing. It has, part of the issue with Lasso is that if you have a creature event, there's a few different issues here. One is, say you were to play the Lasso on the Iron Reaper. Lasso reduces the damage to the participant. The cost, or so lowers the damage you need to participate by 2. That, in theory, puts it at -1. So it's just like, is the creature just dead, or what? The other thing is, if you're using it on an event, even if it's something like 6, right? If multiple people are participating, do the other people take do they also get to lower the cost, or when calculating who did the most damage, does the lasso work in that sort of respect, right? I personally think just the card itself is confusing, so I think the plan is just to change this. My friend gave me a pretty good idea on it, and instead of lowering the creature's damage, lowering your opponent's damage. So instead, lower, I think it has to be all, because I don't really think doing a directional attack makes sense in blind betting, right? Lower all weapon damage of like participating players in a creature event by 1. Maybe all other. There's probably a better way to word this. Lower all other. Yeah, there is. Lower the weapon damage of all other participating players in the creature event by 1. I think that works perfectly. Lower the cost. This would be lower the. I'm damaged by 2 instead. I don't know if 2 corruption's fair on that, but it's kind of hard to say. Okay, good enough. Lantern. Play this card after losing a bet. Yes, I guess some of these tools, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to make rules for each card, or alternatively, if I have to make it so each has its own rule set, right? Because this one, Lasso would have to be played during a bet. Yeah, it would have to be during a bet. Because, like, after would feel unfair, right? It's like, oh, I win, and then you play it, and then they unwin. Like, it's okay that you, like, screw each other over on a lot of the stuff, but I think it's a lot better to have some sort of fairness, right? Which is kind of what I'm worried about corruption, but, like, part of it is, like, you can prevent... Unwin is a great word. Yeah, like... Unwinning feels bad. That's the problem. So... I'll tell you, unwinning feels a lot worse than losing, right? You feel cheated. So, it can't be, it couldn't be like that. Play this card after losing a bet. You may keep all the items you bet. This item is consumed. I don't know if I need the this item is consumed on here, because I think playing an item is pretty obvious they're all consumed after use, and that is just a rule thing. So I do not need... The only time it needs to not say it is consumed if it doesn't get consumed, like Canteen. All players... Keep all players' items during the bet, gain 2 corruption. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah, bedroll is fine. Not bedroll, lantern. Bedroll is also fine. Although, wording... At first, I was trying to decide if I should have it be you don't get a ration and then you just don't have to pay for mealtime. Because right now it's you skip a non-incident event and gain 1 ration. You take no penalties for not participating in the event. Gaining a ration feels redundant when you're just gonna spend it instantly. But at the same time, you could gain a ration that you want to use for something else. But again, this is like a get out of jail free card, so maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. I think you should still get a ration, because then it just keeps it. Because if you, it just gets too wordy, I think, if you try to word it the other way. I think is what would end up happening. So I think we're okay on bedroll. I think it should just stay as is. Especially because the corrupted version gets you 2 items instead. Or as well, I guess. Canteen. My biggest thing with Canteen is, should it just be a ration instead of a tool? And the answer, I think, is probably, because that just makes it less confusing. Because there's really no functional difference between it just being a legendary quality ration than it just, you know, being like a tool that's used as a ration. So I think honestly it's just gonna be a ration. We'll do this ration, and then we will relocate it to here. We do have to reword it though. When using this at meal time, there is a chance it is not consumed. Chance. That's not the word I thought I misspelled. I guess mealtime would be capitalized, right? It's a proper term. Cool. Canteen is now a ration. A rare one at that, but still. It does unwin. Yes, exactly. The only downside to it not being a ration is that, like, it means it can't be used as a tool, but I think I want more rations anyway, so, and more tools, so I think it all works out. Dynamite, I don't think has any issues. Place this during an event as a bet. All other players participating take 1 damage. This may only affect 1 event in a multi-card event. Multi-event card. Now, the biggest problem with this is that is a clarity thing. Because it shouldn't count as participating. I think most people would understand that, but, well, I guess it doesn't matter, right? I guess it doesn't matter if whether it counts as participating or not, because no creature, if you lose or you don't participate, you still get the same detriment, and you will lose if you just place dynamite. So yeah, I guess that's why no one was ever confused on that. That makes sense. Slop is fine. Beans are fine. Beans are fine. Tonic. Now, I do like the idea of removing a curse with tonic. I have been considering, because everyone gets confused by this, right? People get confused why. So, like, the idea is either you can use a tonic as a item, right? You could just say, okay, I'm going to use this and try to cleanse a corruption. You roll, and then the item is consumed. Alternatively, you can use it as a ration, and when you use it as a ration, it has a potential to, or when you use it as a ration, it just uses food. So it's like, it's one or the other. It's risk reward, right? Either you have the ration, or you can potentially remove a corruption. I do like that dichotomy to it, but it's confusing to people, and I don't know if that is just the wording or if I should just have it when you use it in mealtime, it has a chance to remove a corruption. So that's the thing. It is kind of fun being able to play it and roll at any time and then like potentially get a reward for it, but I just kind of wonder if it should be simplified, right? So that one I'm kind of unsure about. Sorry, let me check something. Can't handle having Discord notifications, but I get them all the time, and it's like, what am I doing? All right. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll change it to a mealtime thing. And we'll see how it feels. I guess we'll just use the same wordage as here, right? There's a chance it removes a corruption. This does not need to be capitalized. Does not remove I don't know, I keep capitalizing the remove part. Does not remove corruption, removes a corruption. I am changing the odds on this though to be the same as this other one because it should be rarer. Voot goes my phone. Voot goes my phone. Why did I do Christmas music? It ain't Christmas no more. All right. That is all the items looked at. Now we just need to add more or less. Let's refresh this. Looks good to me. That's nothing yet. All right, let's look at the event deck. I think most of these are okay. I do want to... I do want to kind of revise a few of them, though. This one's good. Cookhouse is totally great. Gambling, I think, is fine. Honestly, I don't think I ever had the saloon. That may need to be different. I can't believe Dual Wielded talked to me. Dual Wielded's a cool guy. I'm a fan. Yeah, I mean, he's the whole reason I got into the video. I mean, he's their editor, so into the BTB video. This, you know, this thing. He's a cool guy. I'm a fan. You could say I'm a fan, you know? Yeah, I mean, he basically got me into this whole video, and that is, you know what, like 400 subscribers from doing that. So that was pretty awesome. It was a great opportunity for me. I would say I'm a fan also. I would say I'm also a fan. I read that backwards for some reason. It's almost like I'm dyslexic or something. But yeah, he's cool. I like his videos. They're really good. Some of the inspiration to some of my stuff, for sure. I take a lot of inspiration from his videos. I may take a lot of inspiration from a lot of videos, but he's one of the well, like the kind of ones like I look to for like how I want the vibe to feel, you know? Like I like his use of like subplots and stuff like that, and like that kind of thing. I like and just kind of using it as a like storytelling sort of thing. I think is really cool. Okay. Saloon. We need to look at the saloon. Actually, before we do that, there is killing the creature shouldn't be what it says. This should say winning the bet. Because killing the creature is like a specific thing. There we go. Okay. Events. Saloon. Lose 2 items, gain every choice and gain 1 corruption. It's pretty bad. Gain 2 items and 1 corruption. I think this should just be items. Gain 3 items. Gain 4 items. Because there's definitely too much. There's too many rations in the whole whatever. Especially in like shops, I guess. This shop has 2 different events. So, well, first of all, the cost should be like 2 non-ration items maybe is more fair. I think that's good to get 4 rations, which is kind of crazy. So take 1 damage, take 1 corruption, gain 2 items, gain 3 items. That's good. I like the kind of like gambling sort of deal. General store is good. Snake oil salesman, I'm happy with as well. Let's look at... Forgot that I'm like not used to talking normally. Like I don't usually talk as much as I do than when I'm as I do on stream as I do off stream. Like I'm usually not super talkative. So having to talk this much just makes my voice hurt. Okay, how many bad guys are corruption and how many of them are damage? 1, 2, sorry, 1 corrupt. There's 1. We need to zoom out here for a second. Reset. Okay. There are 8 encounters total, or 8 creature encounters. 1, 2, 3 are damage. The rest are corruption, with the exception of, well, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 3 are damage, 4 are corruption, 1 is nothing. I'm trying to think that through. I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. I need to head out. Well, Bradley, it was great having you here. Have a good end of the stream. I will. Goodbye, sir. I will be here for 40 more minutes and then probably raid someone, but I appreciate you stopping by, dude. We'll have to play this or AE sometime soon. For sure, for sure. Okay, where was I? I'm trying to debate on whether I really think that it's interesting to try to figure out if I should have more creatures that have weapons, or like or if any creature should drop weapons, right? Because it's kind of weird to like fight a creature and then gain weapons back. I guess more of them could be like gain random items instead of gaining just rations. is probably what it should be. I think I'm okay on the multi-event ones. This one's already tools. Gorge Beast makes sense for food. Tumbleweed Terrors items. Maybe Railroad Wraith is also 2 items. Blackwater Bog Beast. Maybe it's just rations as well. Maybe we just add a few new encounters. Let's take this one at a time, though. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Remove one corruption. Did I do? Hold on. Sorry, I'm blanking out here. Okay, we're good. I think I need to refill my water and hit the bathroom real quick. So give me a second and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Apologies. Oh, wait, that's me. There we go. Alrighty. What next? Yeah, it's kind of hard to know the balance of all this. Obviously, I'm going to want to add more events, but that might be something we do early on in one of the streams where we can kind of pitch ideas and people can say what they want to do, what might be cool for them, or what. Sorry, my brain's not working. What we can kind of like vote on events or something. Duel's good. Liar's Bounty is the only one I really want to change. All players choose one card and place it face down in the middle, declaring what type of card they have chosen. This card can be weapons, tools, items, or a corruption card. I think that needs to change. This should say not items, but rations. Let's edit this again over here. I don't need all these. All players must choose and place one card face down in the middle, declaring what card type they have chosen. This can include weapons, tools, or rations. If all players are truthful, each player gets their card back without any consequences. One player lies. The player collects every card placed face down, including their own and all the others. So I think I want it. So the way I want to work is you take a corruption if you lie. So I think it would just be liars. Any player who lies gains a corruption. For some reason, I didn't think of that as a way to balance this. So either you can get a corruption, you can gain 4 items, or you can gain nothing if you both lie. And that literally just fixes it. And it's thematic too. Because if you're a liar, you are doing something corrupt. Who would have thought? This is not the right CSV though. Here, showing my face. Look out. Look out, everyone. Full screen camera. Do that while I quickly refetch this CSV here. And don't leak all my information and let you steal my game. Not that you couldn't just like watch everything and recreate the game, but oh wait, no. corruption event cards. Sorry, give me half a second here. Damn it. Publish. CSV. Event cards. Copy. I'm sure. There we go. Let's make sure that's all hidden. It is. Okay, I'm back. Back to full working order. Okay, this really shouldn't have all these spaces. It's like kind of nice it has them, but also kind of not. Does that fix it? It might. It just might be behind too. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, that is the main stuff. Now we just need to add cards and then potentially some events, and then we can play test. And then obviously I want to do some art stuff here. I'm kind of wondering if I should just try to tackle some of the art stuff right now, just because my brain's slowing down, if you couldn't tell. Oh, also Duel needs to have some rule changes. It might just not be mandatory. Hold on, let me... Players may... Yeah, this one actually needed. Players may... attack. Players may attack other... This just needs to be reworded. So this is like one that I'm kind of unsure about, because I had a moment where two players just kind of completely like obliterated each other with like a bunch of weapons, which felt good. Players may attack other players. Players may use weapons to attack other players. If two players by choosing a weapon and declaring their attacker. Players may use weapons to attack other players by choosing a weapon and declaring their attacker. By choosing weapons. These weapons may be corrupted. If two players attack each other, the difference of damage taken, the difference of the damage is taken by the weaker attacker. Was there something else I needed to put in here? Attack any other players by choosing weapons and declaring their attacker. Declaring who they will attack. Do damage. Players may use their weapons to damage any other player by choosing weapons and declaring who they will attack. These weapons may be corrupted. If two players attack each other, the difference of the damage is taken by the weaker attacker. Cool. Word problem. You gotta use the old math. Okay. That is better. It is also not mandatory. All players put one card into a pile. The pile is then shuffled. These players take and puts hands, draws, and yeah. Okay. This could be interesting to have it so players without weapons can't be attacked. But at the same time, it's like, whatever. Because someone could have like 4 weapons and just like obliterate everyone, but I don't know. Trying to think this through. Trying to think if there's anything else that I'm forgetting. I guess the other thing is like, I think it just needs to be a rule thing. There's like the cookhouse or the carnival and stuff like that, like where it has an item cost, or even the Hellhound has like a tool cost. I think is the only one that does that. Which maybe we'll just have more of that. And I guess the rule has to be the tool is consumed and cannot be used. I think just has to be the rule, because there's been a few times where a player would, I don't know, like do something like play liar's dice on this, right? They play it on the tool one here, and they're like, okay, well, I use the liar's dice, so I get to roll twice here, right? It's like, well, no, you don't get the cost is paying with the item and not and not that you get to use the item as well. Is consuming the item, and then you can use your dice afterward. Let me make sure I didn't... Yeah. Okay, we're good. Let's just write this one out. You may choose to ignore any part of a reward. That might not be an actual thing that ends up in there, but we'll have to do some item brainstorming. It's kind of late for that now. I'm trying to decide on what we want to do. I actually do want to check something because I was looking at my phone earlier and it had like a live button from my phone, and I'm like, is that just showing? Okay, so I guess I can just stream manager. Okay, I actually can just go to my... Is that today? Oh, wait, no, that was... Okay, never mind. Okay, so it just lets me look at my stream stuff. Never mind. I was wondering if it would, like, swap to my other thing. Anyway. Don't mind me. Yeah, okay, so we have... Let's look at this. We have... card tweaks. We have done these. Card tweaks is done. Rules clarity, we need to like go through and just write a rule book. The shop rule fix works. We're good there. Corruption mechanic we did. But it does mean we need to do corruption art. So that's something we have to do. More monsters, more tools, more weapons, more rations. I don't necessarily think, and maybe more incidents. I don't know if we want more shops. I don't know if they necessarily need to be there. I also don't even know like how many more monsters there need to be, but for variation it might be nice. So yeah, we also need to do some like flavor text on stuff. So maybe that's what we do for the last 9 minutes before we jump somewhere. But the major problems there are now fixed. We just need to do art. And that'll probably be what we do on Monday. Maybe we should do a poll on the Discord thing, because I keep jumping back and forth in my brain whether people would watch if I just did Twitch streams. Or what? You know? I just want to test it out because I'm curious to see what sort of like, if we have a bunch of people, are we going to get even more people? Or is it going to just kind of not do anything? So I'd really like to bump up my thing and see if I can hit affiliate on affiliate on whatever. Yo, Gam? Great game? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm dyslexic. I apologize. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out whether I want to do more more just just Twitch streaming and not dual streaming to YouTube. I don't know. Still trying to figure that out. I know some people don't like that. But here we are. I try to make it like as inclusive as possible, but I guess like if you're on a phone and you're looking at this, it's going to be not very great. Although this content arguably is just not that good on a phone, at least this kind of stuff, like the game design stuff. Doing like Photoshop stuff, anyone can watch this, right? If I'm like drawing or something, but I don't know. I may also just try to improve the overall look of the stream as well, but I guess everything's modular now, so if I really wanted to, I could just like rework some of the stuff to make a nicer looking stream. Anywho, let's just do like a tiny bit of lore. Let's just come up with lore for, or like flavor text for a single item. Maybe 2, and then we'll raid someone. I think is the plan. So, I don't know. I've never done like flavor text on things before, and like I kind of wonder what I even say. Like events kind of are easy to do, or easier, right? Like I could say a monster, like this is the Gorge Beast and it blah, 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 it does this, you know, all that kind of thing. Whereas like an item is like a little bit more interesting. Like a little bit more subjective. So like what I put on there. But I want to at least try it, right? Let's go here. What did I call it? Flavor text. Yeah. So we just do this as a category. Let's put it here. Move it over one. Let's do like, actually no, let's do one of these up here. I feel like Ritual Knife actually might need to change just as far as name goes, because it feels more like it's I mean, maybe not. Like, I'm thinking, I think these could be like little lines too. It doesn't necessarily have to be like it doesn't have to be a description necessarily. It could just be like a quick line of like, I'm trying to think, like, what's like a line, like I'm thinking like cheater's dice. I'm like trying to think of like a like you know, cheaters always win or something, right? I don't want to rely on ChatGPT too much here, but like my brain is just telling me to do that. But no one needs to see me like talk to ChatGPT for 20 minutes. And in this case, I mean like 3 minutes, but I think my brain's too fried to really to come up with this. This is something I have to do at the beginning of a stream. But I kind of want to see what it looks like. That's the thing. Oh, this is all... Sorry, give me just a second here. This is not enthralling content. I apologize. Let's just do this. Give me some flavor text for a card called 6-shooter from the perspective of a cursed Wild West. Make it very short. Okay, it's kind of cool, but kind of 6 shots, 6 souls. The desert doesn't bury its dead, it reloads. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of cool. It's a little like nonsensical to me, but I just want to see what it looks like. Refresh CSV. Text definitely has to be different, but I also think I might get rid of the little splatter effect that's on here. I think that might just be too much. But that requires me to do a lot more, so we're not doing that. In fact, I really should just save each of these images as just the image and not the actual background, and then I can have a background and the image on top of that. But anyway, I think we're done here. Let's raid someone. I'm probably just gonna... There's a good chance I just raid PK, aka Painted King. Let's go to my face. If anyone on YouTube would like to join the raid, feel free to hop on over to Twitch. I probably could just, you know, share that link when I say that. It's something I should do. Make an event of it. Yeah, if you care to join me on Twitch, there it is. We will go raid someone, make some friends. That is the goal. Let me just look and see if there's anyone like really that's like different and interesting here, and then we'll raid them. If not, we're just gonna raid someone we know, but sometimes it is cool to meet new people. Or if anyone has any suggestions for who I should raid, I'd be up for that as well. I'm gonna look at art real quick. See if anyone's doing any like card art stuff. Or any art that I find appealing. It'll take me a second, but that's wild. When I did similar size or smaller, there is no one. I am the smallest art art person right now. Although I'm technically in the art category and not the, or in the game dev category, not the art category. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, you know? Hey! Hey! No scratching the carpet. She yawned and meowed at the same time. I was like, meow. It was kind of cute. Although I made it sound terrifying. Yeah, screw it. We're just gonna raid. We're just gonna raid PK. I don't feel like looking. Looking's just making me feel bad about my own art, you know? Or, you know what? No, let's raid Chips. Let's just raid Chips. We're gonna do it. We know Chips. Alright, let's go. Let's do it. He's playing Balatro. We like Balatro here. I don't know how to do this. Start raid. All right, everyone. I will see you Monday. We will we'll do more of this basically. So, yeah, I'll be on Monday. It'll be early. Thank you for joining me. I will catch you all next time. See ya.